Welcome to boot camp. We all know what we're going to get out of this. Yes, you got like your goals of breathing, getting the heart rate up, sweating. Let's see. Okay. Play music if you like. Lasted. You're muted now, so all good. We're going to start, like I said, with the warm-up. Moving not just the legs. Oops, let me get my coordination pattern here. Moving not just the legs, the hip flexors, but also swinging those arms, getting as much range of motion as you can. It'd be kind of a very exaggerated march. Feel free to take water breaks at any time, and of course, modify the movements. The first movement that we're doing today is like a push-up jack combination, and there's multiple ways you can do that, so I'll break it down. But throughout the class, if I'm doing some push-up variation and you'd rather do your own favorite push-up variation, then go for it. We're here to work out together, motivate each other, even if we're doing slightly different things. All right, so I'm going to march it out to the side. I'm going to swing my arms a little bit more. Just get a range of motion in the hip joint, the elbow joint, shoulder joints, with some stabilization in the abdominals. All right, we're gonna bring the knees back to the front and kind of get your spine involved. So I don't know if previously you just kind of kept your chest up probably, but now here I want kind of a crunch motion here, getting mobility in your spine. Good, 4 more, and 3. And then we'll go into our squats. Feet just outside shoulder distance, toes and knees turned out slightly to the side. I basically describe squats the same way every time because I do squats the same way every time. There's a technique to squats. You guys can probably recite the script. It's not a script. I haven't memorized anything. It's just I've been saying how to do squats for so many years of my life, it just comes out sort of the same. I'm going to show you the profile. Y'all know how to squats. Butt back and down to about knee height. Chest stays up. Slight tilt of the chest. Some say that your tilt of the chest should be exactly parallel to the tilt of the spine. And I've never really tried that or tried to measure or look at that, but I guess it's kind of close. I think the purpose in stating that is so that you don't do something like this, where your chest is dropped. Because usually the tilt of your spine, the tilt of your shin, if your knees don't shoot past the toes, is mostly upright and a slight tilt. So if you can get your chest or your spine to be in that same or similar slight tilt, it means you didn't drop your chest. Let's lunge. Feet hip distance apart, so not very wide. Step one leg back, nice long stride, and lower the back knee so it ends up underneath the hip. Underneath the hip there. And for this one, we're going to keep our chest vertical. There is no slight tilting whatsoever in a lunge. All right, today's workout, by the way, is 5 rounds of 4 exercises in each round. We're going to do the 40-second, 20-second timing, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of recovery. So during that time, your heart rate should be up and it comes back down a little bit during that 20 seconds. Switch sides. And then after those 5 rounds are done, at the 40 and 20 second timing, we're going to repeat all 5 rounds, 4 exercises in each round, at the 30-second, 15-second timing. So you're going to see the same exercises again, but with a different timing. And in the second half, you're probably going to be more fatigued. So doing a 30-second round is a little better than doing a 40-second round. So the timing is always half of the work interval. Do 2 more. The timing of the work is double that of the rest. Okay, let's see. All right, we're missing someone. I hope she's join a little later. I guess I can text her. Okay, so push-up jack. I'm going to start the timer after this. Just going to show you this real quick. Oh, normally we would do push-up for our warm-up. We should probably do some, huh? But anyways, here you can do push-ups on your knees. Take your feet up, walk it out, walk it in, or push-up, jack. And then a more challenging jack position is push-up, jack. And then finally, you would jack your feet up at the same time. And you bend your elbows, and then you would jack your feet in at the same time. Sorry, I forgot to do the upper body warm up. So let's go down and do the, did everyone do it? And Andrea's just standing there. That's fine. All right, let's do the upper body warm up because I totally forgot to do it last time. So first, get into your plank. Whew. So warming up our shoulders here and our abdominal muscles, core muscles. Squeezing the butts. And then in another 10 seconds, we're going to come up onto our wrists and we're going to do 8 push-ups. And you can do it on your knees. You can do it on your toes. In fact, you can also do push-ups kneeling. So this is toes, this is knees. And then when you pull your knees in underneath your hips, that's called kneeling. This is a kneeling push-up. You want your hands wider than your shoulders, so that when you lower your chest to shoulder height, to elbow height, that your elbows form roughly 90 degrees. Okay? So anytime we do push-ups today, you can do any variation of push-ups. I'm going to start the timer. All right, and we're going to start with the push-ups. And then during the 20-second break, I will show you the next moves, which are going to be lower body stuff. So that's what we generally do, alternate between upper body, lower body. All right, if you don't feel quite fully warmed up, feel free to, of course, take it easy in the entire first round. We have 4 exercises. All right, here we go, then knocking started. Get in push-up position, we're gonna do our push-ups and jacks. So anywhere you want, we got 40 seconds of work. Eye gaze on the floor, abdominals braced. And whatever push-up you pick, you don't have to stick with that type of push-up for the entire 40 seconds. Our goal is to try to keep moving for 40 seconds. But that may change. You can start doing knee push-ups or kneeling push-ups. Whatever variation you like. All right. So we can get our nice low wide squats. You can walk to the side 4 steps, or you can jump into the side 4 jumps. All right, so we got 10 seconds until our break is over. So we just did upper body, so our arms are tired. Yes, we can go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back. Maintaining that low squat. You can kind of jump it, very small jumps. So you notice that my knees bend and straighten a little bit if I'm jumping. But in general, I'm trying not to straighten my legs fully. I'm keeping the muscles loaded, the leg muscles. Ooh, I feel the banana muffins. Why do I eat a snack right before boot camp? One of life's mysteries. Okay, that was 40 seconds. That was fun. Crab kick. All right. So you can do dips. You're going to do a dip and a kick. Dip and a opposite. All right, or non-stop dips.
Ready?
Fingertips point to your feet. That's really important. Fingertips point to your feet. Try to keep the butt up as you bend the elbows. And again, adding a little balance and coordination challenge here. But it also prevents you from doing as many dips. So less tricep fatigue, more coordination if you do the lift, and then more tricep work if you take out the reaching, okay? So here I'm kind of just burning on my tricep right now, and it is tired, so maybe I'll go back to this reach here. It's about muscle fatigue, but it's also about your breath, your heart rate. All right, this looks like a handstand, but it's like, this looks like I'm really bad at handstands. So your feet are here, you put your hands down, and you jump. All right, you stagger it, 1 foot at a time. That looks like I'm like really bad at cartwheels or something. Okay? So a very total body movement here. Feet, low squats, hands, feet. Feet, hands, feet. I hope I'm just doing this in a way that allows you to understand what I'm doing. Let me see what you guys are doing. Yeah, and if you want to kick into a full handstand, you can, but I mean, I don't trust myself that I'm not gonna fall over my head. Hey, that's 4 exercises. All right, get about 30 seconds break. Okay, then we're gonna go to the next exercise, frog squat jump. All right, I'm just giving 30 seconds. I normally give a minute. Is that okay with everyone? All right, so here we go. In 10 seconds. So we're doing a frog squat jump.
Ready?
With the turn, 90 degrees. Or if you want and very ambitious, you could do a 180. I would go left and then right. I wouldn't go in a circle because that gets very dizzying. And if you're doing the 90, just go front, side, and front. Okay? If you're doing a non-jumping version, you can walk it. Okay? Again, lower body, muscles loaded. And knocking means there's 10 seconds left. I only give 30-second break instead of the usual 1 minute between rounds. Let me know. Burpee, low squats. This one I've done a lot of times, so you've probably seen before. Burpee, walk it back. We're still on the break, 10 seconds. Optional push-up. Jump wide. Stay here. Go back. Jump wide. Don't stand up. Good. So this is a combination of upper body and lower body. I know we just did those frog squats, and you're like, man, my legs are still tired. Yeah, well then hang out in the push-ups more. No one said this class was easy. No one said this class is fair. No, I'm just kidding. Ugh. Okay, we're not standing all the way up. You're gonna keep all those muscles loaded. All right, so we're gonna give our upper body a break. I consider burpees an upper body more than lower body, but that's because my upper body just tends to get tired more with the push-ups compared to my legs. Okay, scissor, scissor, squat, jump, down. Right foot forward, left foot forward, center, squat, and jump. Okay? If you're doing no low impact, leg goes forward, it goes back and squat. Forward, back, and squat. Scissor, scissor, squat. I do an extra jump there. But if you don't want to, you can do scissor, scissor, land, scissor, scissor, land. Or scissor, scissor, land, up, jump. Scissor, scissor, squat, and jump. See how many options I just gave you? Variety is life. Okay, the pure cardio. So no squats, we're not doing upper body. We're skipping in place. All right, so skipping is not the exact same as high knees. This is like high knees, like a run.
Ready?
Propel up, up. It's like you're punching the ceiling. Propulsion pulls your foot off the ground, and that's how you skip. And if this is confusing, just skip around the room. Once people start traveling with the skip, then it makes more sense and they remember how to skip. Sometimes skipping in place is kind of weird. Goodbye. All right, pure cardio. Drive up, up. Get that heart rate up. This is the last exercise of this round. 30-second break after this. How are we doing? 30 seconds enough? Or do you guys want to change it to a minute? First person that responds, do 1 or 30? 30. Okay. Got it. All right.
Ready?
So we're going to go rear lunge. We have 15 seconds. All right, 10 seconds. Rear lunge, knee lift. Rear lunge, knee lift with a jump.
Ready?
With a propulsion. This kind of looks like the skips we just did, I know. You don't have to jump. Lunge, knee lift. Move those arms in opposition. Same leg. We have another round. After this, we have 3 more, right? In this cycle, 4 exercises total on this round. And one of them involves doing it on the other leg. In fact, I think it's the next one. Make sure you lunge. Whew. This is a lunge. Stepping down like this with your legs straight, that's not a lunge. So make sure you get low. Work those muscles. Get the butt sore. Get the legs sore. All right, and then the next, in 20 seconds, actually 15 now, is the other leg. So big step back, knee lifts, arms move in opposition. Helps with balance. All right, think up.
Ready?
For the propulsion. Here we go. Nice. Hope you guys can't tell I'm breathing super, super heavily. The heart, the lungs, they all work together, right? So it's your cardiorespiratory system. And since it's like busy, your muscles are working, busy, getting oxygen to these muscles. That's why your breathing is heavy. Okay. We're gonna kind of go back into that sort of weird handstand again. This is a lot of shoulders and arms. So pick your first leg again, the one that was moving. The one that was stepping back.
Ready?
And kick the ceiling. Kick the ceiling. The whole time, don't lock your elbows straight. Have a slight bend, and your elbows look at the floor between your hands. Okay? And I just want you to kick the ceiling. And when you're in the process of kicking the ceiling, you contract that butt muscle in that upper leg, and the bottom leg does kind of a mini squat because it has to bend and it kind of gets pulled off the floor. All right, but it's a stabilizing leg. So both legs are working in different manners and your arms definitely stabilizing. The more you bend your arms, the more, can't even talk anymore. The more you bend your arms, the more you work your arms and shoulders. All right, the arms don't get a break. Going right back, stick the other leg in the air. In 5 seconds.
Ready?
Other leg. Footprint on the ceiling. Eye gaze on the floor. Bend those elbows. Hip extension. That top leg is working the butt because you're essentially doing a back kick. If you've ever done kickboxing back kicks, 10 seconds to go. You got this. Longer break after this, 30 seconds, not just 15. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you the good news now. In case you thought this entire class was just bad news. No. The last round, all exercises are ab related. Okay, so, but this is the 4th round. We're not on the 5th now. So we got 15 more seconds. Ignore that clock here. All right, 10 more seconds. Pick your leg, touch down like this.
Ready?
Now this is absolutely all about balance. I would look at a dot on the floor. Try not to put this leg down. Yeah, your hands help with balance, right? But you don't really want to fall onto your hands because you fell. You want to control into that deadlift. This is a single leg deadlift. If you want to add a little hop right there, when the knee swings forward and up, that's the propulsion again. We just did propulsion in the last round too. So if you're tired of propulsions, don't do this. This in itself, focus is on the balance and almost a hamstring stretch right here. Okay, understand? All right, so we're gonna do the other leg. So it's a single leg deadlifts. Deadlifts are known especially for stretching the hamstring. Now we should try to keep the spine straight. I don't think I did a good job of that. So I try to keep the spine straight like this.
Ready?
Keep the spine straight, lift, spine. It's okay if you bend the standing leg, all right? But you're bending it only as much as you need to. As in, you're trying to keep it mostly straight for that nice hamstring stretch. Oops. I can't look at you guys because if I do, I literally fall over. You have to look at a dot on the floor. Don't look at me in the Zoom screen. Look at a dot, maybe 3 or 4 feet ahead of you, and stare at it. That's how you maintain your balance. Time for more push-ups. Scorpion push-ups. Lift that leg as high as you can. Curl it like a scorpion tail. Do a push-up. We got 10 more seconds. You can also do knee push-up, lift into scorpion. All right? The reason I don't do one knee on the ground in scorpion is because it puts a lot of pressure on my single knee, and I don't like how it feels. But if you want to do it that way, you can. So lift the leg, curve that tail like a scorpion tail, which makes it a little more challenging for your arms. But again, you can go to your knees, do a push-up, come up into your scorpion tail. I would do it on my toes, like I said, because it's a lot of pressure to have just one knee down, as opposed to splitting the weights between both knees. Oh, that's your scorpion push-up. Alternating lunge. There's a double, double. Lunge, tap, lunge. Together, lunge,
Ready?
tap, lunge. Jumping version, lunge, tap, lunge. Switch, lunge, click, lunge. Switch, lunge, heel, click, lunge. Got that? It's pretty challenging because you have to get enough air that you can bring your feet together and back out the same way. Similar to that double lunge. Pop, pop. Switch. Reverse lunge. Heel click, switch. Use your arms. By the way, all right, we gotta do abs in 30 seconds. I just watched this movie on Hulu called I, Tonya, which is about the Tonya Harding thing with Nancy Kerrigan, figure skating. And what it is, it's not a documentary, it's actually a Hollywood movie, but it's based on the facts that happened. A little bit dramatized. But what I will say is figure skaters doing what they do on blades on ice, it's truly, truly spectacular. the amount of fitness they have in basically taking off like a lunge jump, like this, going like this, spinning through the air. Oops, let's do our abs. Plank, stop it. Feet apart. Sorry, I digress. We're not doing any triple axels in this boot camp class or anything, but that lunge heel click movement kind of reminds me of a figure skating move because you're basically taking off in air, bringing your feet together to do a spin. We didn't spin. And then landing again. You know? So we're in a plank. We want your feet wide. We're trying to keep our hips square to the floor as we alternately slap your thigh, creating just enough asymmetry with the tripod here. All right, on your back, we're doing flutter kicks. Don't sit on your hands, please. Do me a favor and keep your tailbone on the floor, your low back imprinted. You can flutter up here. You can have your head down. You can have your head, neck, and shoulder blades up. You can reach your arms here, or you can flutter down here. 40 seconds of flutter. It goes without saying that if you experiment, lower is more challenging. Higher is less. Let's lock our legs straight. So squeeze those quads. Now I find it a little easier to have my head, neck, and shoulder blades up if my legs are going to be low. If my legs are high, I may want to have my head, neck, and shoulder blades down. Find your options that are challenging but doable. Three seconds. Oh gosh, climbing a little higher. Oh. All right. So we start our back, crunch and punch. So here, you do want to come off, like about halfway up your spine. Try to punch the ceiling. Punch.
Ready?
You don't actually want to sit all the way up. I mean, I guess you could. It takes a lot of time. You really only need to get the head, neck, and shoulder blades off the floor to effectively recruit your rectus abdominis. Geez, my abs were tired before I started this. I think it's from the flutter kicks. We can lay on our stomach after this. Crunch and punch. Punch and crunch. If you need to put a hand behind the head for that neck support, go for it. Or again, you have to lift the head up over this one though, in order to feel it. Now we get to lay on our stomach and do what's called swimming. So you're gonna lift all four limbs on a low hover, and you want your legs and arms separated, and then just kind of flutter.
Ready?
This is called swimming. It's a Pilates term. Obviously, this is not how anyone swims, right? You would swim like that. But it's almost like you're floating in water and like patting the surface of the water. And you're keeping all four limbs off the ground so it works the spine muscles. That's what we're targeting right now. The muscles opposite to the abdominals. Legs straight, arms straight. It's a very small movement, very, very small. In fact, you can hold it still too if you wanted. So just holding all four limbs slightly off the floor, which means your spine is working. Because if everything was on the floor, that'd be just gravity winning, and your spine muscles aren't having to do any work. All right, we're done with the 5 rounds. So we're gonna do all 5 again, different timing. 30 seconds work, 15 seconds off. All right, but let's actually take a full minute, because I haven't given you guys a full minute rest since the beginning. Now we'll start with the first exercise. And now you know what's coming. You know. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thanks for your comments. Like doing handstands? All right, so we have about 15 seconds left. Okay, who remembers the first exercise? All right, I certainly don't, because that's why I write everything down. I cannot memorize anything. Oh, actually, I do remember this one because it's really hard. It's the push-up jacks. So take your variation. Now that you know every exercise is coming, if you know the modifications you're going to do or any alternate exercise, you know, if you really hate doing push-ups, it probably means you should do push-ups, but feel free to do crunches, more squats, more lunges, more burpees. Burpees, you never have to do the push-ups with it. All right, starting in 10. Get ready for push-up jacks. Oh, wait, oh my gosh. I forgot to do the most important thing. Just switch to the 30-15. They're going to hate me, right? 30-15. Here's my 30-15. Okay, here we go. Shorter. So these are shorter intervals. So you can go a little bit more intensely if you want it. I know we're all fatigued, so you probably don't want to. And it's good that the work interval is a little shorter because we probably wouldn't be able to last all 40 seconds after doing those 5 rounds. And that's the whole point, is that we are fatiguing our muscles as we progress in this workout. Okay, what's the next exercise? Oh yeah, side chest. If you aren't getting more tired throughout the workout, throughout this class, it means you probably weren't pushing yourself hard enough in the beginning. Like you kind of saved up your energy. All right? There's nothing after these next 5 rounds. We have about like 15 minutes left in this workout. So now is the time to kind of empty the gas tank because you have a lot of recovery time between now and next Tuesday, right? Or if you're planning on working out tomorrow, you have at least a 24-hour recovery. I assume you're not doing another workout right after this class. All right, 15 seconds. We got our crab kick tricep dip. All right, so it's only 30 seconds, so I might skip this little part here and just focus on the dips. Fingertips toward the butt. Bend the elbows, straighten them. That's it. My butt is not lowering to the floor because I lowered my butt. My butt is moving towards the floor because I bent my elbows. So very clear distinction here. Oh, by the way, you can also do this. You can lift the leg, break up the tricep dip without lifting your arm off the ground. Did not show that in the first round. My apologies. All right, here's our terrible cartwheel. That's not the name of the exercise. So I didn't name this exercise, but I saw it in another class, and I just like doing it. But they call it the Primate Shuffle because, like, I guess gorillas and stuff, they travel on their knuckles. So it's as if we were on our knuckles. Again, I didn't name that exercise. I like calling this the terrible cartwheel. It's especially funny because, that's it, those 4 exercises. We're going into our squat jump, our frog squat jump with the turn. So here's the thing. You don't have to do the turn. You don't have to do this jumping part. But we only got 30 seconds, so let's really push ourselves to get that heart rate up and burn these muscles out. I'm going to turn sideways here. Soft landing. If you're doing the 180 turn, make sure you jump high enough so you can land where you want. But you know, nothing says you can't do 90. Or you could do what's in between 180 and 90? You could do a 135 turn. So I go from this wall to this corner. Well, that's weird. Oh, geez. All right, burpee to low squats. This is our lower body heavy round. So our burpee, squats, hands down, and here we go. We have started. This is our second exercise in the second round, in case you are wondering where we are. There are 5 rounds, and the last round is all abdominals core. Optional push-up there. Three seconds left. Scissor, scissor, squat jump. Scissor, scissor, squat jump. Scissor, scissor. In 5 seconds. And we're off. You can alternate which leg goes forward for that scissor. Remember, you can do the low impact option. Tap forward, tap back, squat. Oh, I didn't do it. All right, here's our skips. All right, you can skip around the room. You skip around your whole house. You should skip around the block and come back. Just make sure you do it in 30 seconds. A little bit of hop, because the whole purpose about the skip is an upward propulsion. And we have several other moves in this workout that have that same general upward propulsion. I don't know if you can hear the sound of my feet, but it's pop, 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 pop. If I wasn't doing that propulsion, you wouldn't hear that. Okay? I don't even know if you can hear my feet. I'm sure my neighbors can, they don't like me. Okay, we get 30 seconds. And like I said, we were doing that propulsion. This with the propulsion. Wait, you get 30 seconds. This timer just goes on with the 15. Okay, here we go. So lunge, reverse lunge, propulsion or reverse lunge, knee lift. I'm just going to do this one a little differently. This is my right leg. If you're mirroring me, your left. I want you to remember which leg you're currently moving, because we're going to immediately go down for the donkey kick. Okay? I didn't name these exercises. There is an animal thing though. So this is my right leg. This is my front leg. I'm going to put my hands down, and I'm going to take that same front leg, and that's going to go up. Okay, so we're going to actually really burn out that front leg, standing leg. All right, you may really hate me after this, because that front leg is already fatigued. The moving leg is not the leg that's challenged. The moving leg is not, I repeat, the leg that is challenged, because it's in the air. It doesn't have to work as much to stabilize. Now, put the weight on your arms, bend those elbows, don't lock the joints out. And I know if you're doing the same leg as me, your left leg is burning. And now it's over. Your left leg is to move. Time for your right leg to burn out. I'm just going to turn the other direction. This is my front leg again. Reverse lunge. This front leg, the standing leg, it's gonna burn out. It's gonna burn out. I changed this order partially because the rounds are shorter, so it can really burn out that leg muscle. Also, it gives your wrist a little bit of break. But it's not gonna be too heavy on the arms this round, is it? Really heavy on the legs. Our legs are infinitely stronger than our upper body. Same leg off the ground. Now, if you do want to work your arms a little more, just bend your elbows a little more. Okay, and then keep them slightly bent. And then we're doing this. All right, let's go, 30 seconds. Right here. You're never gonna see this exercise again until the next time I put it in my boot camp class. I don't know when that'll be, but not today. You won't see this again after right now. Oh my gosh, this is killing me. we're all dying together, and it's all my fault. Oh gosh, we're only in round 4. Oh no, we're gonna run out of time. It's 6:40. Jeez, I really did poor math on this. I thought I calculated the right timing. All right, listen. We got 15 more seconds. I'm gonna make a call. We're gonna go into abs round. We're gonna skip a single leg deadlift round. Okay, here we go. I want you to do a plank and a thigh slap. But if you want to throw a push-up in there, because I cut out a whole round, do your push-up. Okay? And then we've got 2 ab exercises after this and your spine work. You can also do a scorpion push-up, I guess, like this, which is one thing I took out. Ooh. Oh, I don't have it in me to do scorpion push-ups. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I always try to calculate the rounds and do all this, what I consider simple math of adding the rest and work time and the rest break, but it didn't work. If your neck is fatigued, keep it down on the ground. You can definitely work the abs. It's okay if your knees are bent too, by imprinting that lower back. Okay? This is your flutter. I'm not sitting on my hands. I just have it tucked really close next to my butt. Oh, thank goodness it's only 30 seconds. We have our punch and crunch. If you have a hand behind the head and you don't want to keep switching, you do 2 punches and then a switch, okay? All good. But you do have to lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades here in order to work the rectus abdominis. That's kind of the only way you can work the rectus abdominis. You either lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades and create the curvature in your spine, or you lift your tailbone and legs off the ground to curve your spine, which is a ton harder because your lower body has all that extra to lift, right? Compared to your head, neck, and shoulders. So this is the easier way to create spine flexion. All right, final exercise. This is it. Swim. This brings us right to 6:45, so I'll do a really, really brief stretch. I try to say sweat and stretch at the same time. High knees on the ground, head and neck aligned with the spine. If you want to try to coordinate lifting right arm, left leg, and then switching, you can. It's not critical because the movement pattern is so small. If we're making it any bigger, then you would probably want to coordinate it so you don't feel like you're a fish flopping out of water. Keep breathing. I know you're on your stomach and it's sometimes hard to breathe. Ouch. That's it. Stopping the clock here. All right, give me a stretch. You're right here. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees under hips. We just did the spine extension. We just arched the back, so this should feel really good right after that swimming. And then let's go ahead and stretch. So if you bring one leg forward, we're stretching sort of this area, sort of where the butt comes into the hamstring. But more importantly, we're stretching the back leg's hip flexor, which you can see better once I change my legs. All right, I'm just kind of keeping my hands on the inside of my front leg. So if you shift it back, now you should be able to see, this is the stretch of the hip flexor here. So I've switched legs. I'm just letting gravity take over. I'm letting my hips sink down. I'm not trying to pull my butt up. Let it sink down. Good, you can tuck that back toe under, lift, and then pivot on the ball of your feet so that your feet are nice and wide, legs are straight. We're just gonna hang our head, just feel an inner thigh stretch. And then go ahead and start to walk your feet in. You can heel, toe in. Whatever works for you. Now we're hanging out in a forward fold position, touching or trying to touch our toes. Basic hamstring stretch, but not just a hamstring stretch. So if I'm reaching my arms down, or if I even grab behind my calves and bend my elbows, I'm creating actually a stretch in the upper, middle, and lower back. So all along my spine here, which is nice and curved. So if you can grab behind your leg and just gently bend your elbows, eye gaze on the knees, pulling your chest towards your thighs. That kind of deepens your hamstring stretch, but also gets into your back. Now slowly roll up. Work out those shoulders. Really exaggerate reaching back, because as you do that, you'll feel that stretch in the chest. Good, take it forward. Reach back first and forward. And then whip your arms open and closed. Try to relax as you do this. You don't want to control the arms. You want your muscles relaxed so we can lengthen and stretch, right? If you're really thinking about, contracting your muscles, nothing's going to move. And then finally, get some stretching and movement in your obliques and in your lower back again. Release the heel. See, as you're whipping your arms around, your heel lifts and you kind of pivot on your toe to protect your knees. All right, quick abdominal stretch. Push the hips forward, arch the back, reach your arms as high as you can. This is the opposite of slouching, because I'm going to show you slouching right now. So it's really great if you have a chance throughout your day to do an abdominal stretch, because it's exactly the opposite of you slouching at your desk all day. Assuming you're slouching at your desk all day. It's a high assumption. It's an assumption that I usually write about. Thanks. Great job. Fantastic job. Thank you for coming to boot camp. Woohoo.